Hi, Chase Craig here again with Chase Craig Real Estate Group and Keller Williams Realty Boise, and this is step number 6 in our How to Buy a Home series, which is titled Writing and Negotiating an Offer. And this is our second part of this series here. Writing and negotiating contracts is obviously one of the most important parts of the process after you, of course, find the dream home. Now you need to buy it. So we're going to help you through that process here. In this section, we want to talk about what are the seller's options. So you've already written your offer, you've submitted it to the seller, now they are ready to respond. What can their responses be? What's next? Well, the seller can do one of 3 things once they receive your offer. They can decide to accept it. If they decide to accept it, right when they sign that contract, that's when all those time frames start. So the inspection time frame starts from that day, and you're rolling, you're ready to go. So you're at that point, you're going to be scheduling the inspection and getting moving right forward with the process. The seller can look at your offer and decide they don't want to work with you for whatever reason. Maybe you offered too low. Maybe they got another offer and they don't want to deal with more than one offer, and their other offer's better, so they want to reject yours. Maybe they decided not to sell it. All sorts of things can happen for them to reject it. When I'm representing a seller, I strongly recommend they keep it on paper. So for you sellers out there that might be watching, always counter an offer. If you want to get a deal accepted, never just reject it. Even if it's a terrible offer, I strongly recommend we counter offer it. And then that leads us right into our last option, which is the seller can counter offer it. So what does that mean? They like you and they want to work with you, but they don't necessarily like all the terms of your offer. So they're going to change certain things about it. Maybe it's the price. Maybe it's the amount of closing costs that you've asked them to pay for. Maybe you asked to include a washer and a dryer and a refrigerator, but they can't give those to you. They need to give those to, take those to the new house. So they're going to be able to take your offer and massage it and do anything they want with it and counteroffer back to you. Now, just because they counteroffer doesn't mean that you have to take whatever they gave you. You still have the option at that point. If they write a counteroffer, let's say you offered 150 grand and the list price is 160, and they counter back at 155, you do not have to accept it. Now that you've got the counteroffer in your court, you get to do one of 3 things. You get to accept it, reject it, or you can counteroffer back yourself. So this is the countering process, and it keeps going until you either reject or accept. And once you reject or accept an offer, that's when the process is no longer happening. I wrote down be reasonable. Here's what I want you to be reasonable about. This is 2 things that I want you to consider. When you're writing an offer on a property, have your realtor and your real estate professional comp out the property for you so you have an idea of what it's worth before you write the offer. Don't come in 20, 30% below market value because you think you're going to get an accepted offer. That's not a win-win, and it's probably just going to be wasting your time and your realtor's time. Ask them what the trends are. Have them pull up statistics of homes in the area and what they've sold for. They have something called an ask to sold ratio. So if they're asking 100 grand, what are they getting for in the area? A lot of our areas here in the Treasure Valley, in the Boise area, we're seeing ask to sold ratios of 98, 99%. So if it's a $200,000 house, they're getting almost full price. 196 or 198. So keep that in mind. We can pull up that data for you so you can see what other people are paying and find out if you're being reasonable. The other thing is on be reasonable is when it comes to the home inspection. If you're walking through the home and you know the carpet's trashed and they need to put new carpet in here for you to buy it, don't wait until the home inspection to point out that the carpet is trashed. Do that through the offer if that's something you want replaced. Save the inspection items for things you wouldn't have reasonably noticed. That's what the inspection's for. You're hiring a professional to dig and find things that you wouldn't have known on your own. But if you're walking by and see the carpet's trash and you know you're not going to buy it unless they put new carpet in, don't waste your time writing an offer and then going through the inspection and saying, hey, we noticed the carpet is bad, our inspector noticed the carpet is bad, we're going to go ahead and get rid of it. Please don't do that. It's very offensive, it's a slap in the face to the seller, and you already knew you wanted it replaced when you were walking through it. You didn't need a home inspector to point that out. So I hope this helped you today in writing and negotiating an offer, and stay tuned for more on our How to Buy a Home series. Thanks so much.